it's the Scarlet Cataclysm. I'm going to be extremely brief because I just read an article about how much time we waste in this world. And boy, am I feeling that right now, which is why I'm posting a video to social media. Anyhow, I promised I'd review Black Panther, so here it is. Very in keeping with what I've just said. I love film, and I think obviously entertainment is so good and so necessary to distract us from our lives, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, it's all time. And while stuff is fun, I mean, you can have fun for fun's sake, but I like films whenever there's a little bit of a point above the fun. And Black Panther is not only one of the most entertaining films I've ever seen, sure, a bit long, but still doesn't feel like it. And it also has a point. Oh, it's just everything you could hope for. Is it worth the hype? If you're stupid enough to believe in hype, you'll probably be disappointed. But if you go to movies with no expectations, or base it off your own reaction to a trailer, not what someone else is telling you should feel, then you probably will like it. Because it is good. It's a very unique visual style. I think it's more trying to be a good movie in comparison to other good movies, like from any genre, than a good Marvel movie. And some people will dislike that because for me, I mean, I don't really stan Marvel. So I don't know how well it incorporates stuff from the comics or how well it fits in the universe, but to me it felt quite standalone. And that's what I liked about it, because it was very much its own unique thing. And it was a beautiful, unique thing. So validating for a historian and come anthropologist, because nothing in that film would have been as beautiful and wonderful and visually pleasing as it was, and unique as it was, if it wasn't for my kind. Because obviously the costume designers and all did amazing work researching actual African cultures and traditions and their tribal wear and their tribal traditions to come up with such a beautiful look and create so many unique, diverse, beautiful characters. Back to a normal kind of filmic entertainment basic sense, nothing is bad in it. The actors are great. I mean, the characters are great, but sometimes if the actor's terrible, you can't see the greatness of the character. And if the character is bad, a good actor elevates it. But honestly, I just think both of them were spot on. So perfect. The story is... I watched Thor on Saturday and I kind of am a bit nostalgic for the simplicity of it. There's a few subplots, but it's mostly just quick and condensed, and I like that as a first film. And Black Panther, it felt like it had more going on than that, and then some things kind of got lost. That's my one criticism. I almost just feel like it could have been more simple. And then some other people say it's too simple, or they don't get it, or it's just like, oh, like boy has to find his purpose like any other story. But it's not. It's a very unique way of telling it. And oh, it's so good. It's so good. Just everything about it. Even the villain. I saw some video being like, is Killmonger the best villain since the Joker? Completely incomparable. But in another way, I suppose if you're talking about Heath Ledger's Joker, it's been years since I've seen The Dark Knight, but as far as I remember, he goes on about money and wealth, and I mean, he's basically just an anarchist. I don't know if he's intentionally political, but there's that dimension to it. It's like the capitalist versus the social anarchist. And there's a similar political conflict in Black Panther between T'Challa, who is more... I saw a great video explaining this, and I don't know the right terminology to describe it, but they're very sort of like... They have a cultural identity in that they're Wakandan and they're kind of isolationist. By the way, I'm not the guy that commented on Marvel's official ad, the guy with a Rick and Morty icon that said it was an insular state, ethnocentric, blah blah blah. Why is Marvel pandering to the alt-right? Haha, cause like, that's comparable. Like, no, shut up, that's not what I mean. But Wakanda is insular because the fucking racist exact type of people who are in the right wing now 300, 400 years ago went and destroyed the rest of Africa. So they were like, let's protect ourselves, please. And I'm just kind of frustrated that it isn't real, to be honest. I think it's a beautiful metaphor, because obviously it's like fictional and fantasy, blah 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 blah. Vibranium is what gives them their powers and technology, okay, whatever. But I think it's a pretty good example of what an African country would have been able to achieve theoretically if whites hadn't colonized them all and destroyed them and took all the resources and things they had. But anyway, that's back to my point, because T'Challa is kind of protecting it all, and he is, like, obviously they're all kind of aware of the world going on right inside them, but they're kind of happy in their ivory tower, shall we say. I think that's a bit patronising, but I can't think of a better word. Whereas Killmonger, the villain, is his identity is racial. So he sees himself as identifying with all the blacks all around the world, and he comes from Oakland. So not the ivory tower, more like the cesspool and basically the colonised world he's living in. So he wants to undo all that. He wants to kind of rebuild the world anew. I think he actually does say that at some point, and create an empire, rewrite history where the blacks are on top. And boy, is that quite a brave concept to bring into a movie, especially now at this time in America with all the racial nonsense going on. I mean, there's been racial nonsense going on since the dawn of time. It just seems to be the hot topic at the moment. And I'm kind of glad it is, because it kind of always needs to be the hot topic until something is done to make the world a better place. But anyway, this film is so timely, and that's what I mean when it's not just entertainment. It actually makes you fucking think about two things. It makes you want to research black history. It makes you want to research different thoughts. You have sympathy for both the characters for completely different reasons. And oh, love a movie like that, bitch. Love a movie like that. Plus, the soundtrack is insane. Kendrick Lamar's tracks are phenomenal. Really creates a real proper modern, unique vibe, but with the original music, it's so traditional. I just love that in this movie. It blends the traditional with the modern. It shows how you can keep all your cultural heritage, but still kind of become global. I've done this in anthropology, actually, now I'm thinking of it. It's sort of how do you maintain self-identity and country self-identity when everything's becoming very well, everything's becoming globalized and mono-societal. And I think this film kind of provides somewhat of an answer to that. You can keep both. You don't have to be one or the other. You don't have to go live in the woods and sing old tribal songs. You can sing old tribal songs and then remix them and put them on SoundCloud. You can have it both ways. And the soundtrack reflects that. The traditional stuff is absolutely beautiful, especially that scene where T'Challa is fighting the challenge, and the sort of the beat and the chanting start to come together and then they balance each other out. Oh, it's so good. And the little triumphal trumpet riff that symbolises royalty, Wakanda, T'Challa himself, is something straight out of a proper epic. It is Ben-Hur levels of epic. In fact, the whole film has elements like that where you really do feel like you're actually watching something, for me anyway, that would have been directly inspired by a proper 50s epic. Black Panther has all those epic elements, and oh, I beg you to go see it if you haven't already. I mean, you might hate it, and some people have valid reasons for disliking it because it's just not their movie, or they just don't want to think. I'm not trying to be patronising, but so many of the reviews I've read are obviously just people saying, political agenda! I don't understand why this other man wants to kill the white people. Like, fuck up. Anyway, Black Panther 4 to 5, go watch it. That's me out. Bye!